All right, let's just jump right in. Today, we're going to break down this really fascinating, kind of mind-bending model for navigating reality. It's called Reality Transurfing, and it's all about how you can, quite literally, choose your own fate.
You know that feeling, don't you? Like the world is just deliberately messing with you. You're running late, and bam, you hit every single red light. Or you're trying to avoid that one person, and of course, they're the first person you bump into. It's that uncanny feeling that reality itself has it out for you. Well, transurfing has a pretty wild explanation for why that happens.
So, the core idea, this central metaphor of transurfing, is actually super powerful and simple. The world is a mirror. But hold on, this isn't just any old mirror. It's got two very, very different sides, and figuring them out, well, that's the key to everything.
See, the whole model is built on this idea of a dual reality. On one side of this mirror, you've got the physical world we all know, the stuff we can touch, see, and measure. But on the other side, there's this whole metaphysical, informational field that, according to transurfing, is just as real.
And this other side, it's called the space of variations. Think of it like this. It's an infinite library, but instead of books, it's filled with film reels. And every single reel is a possible life path, a complete script for anything that ever was, is, or could be. So what we experience as time is really just one of those movies playing out, one frame at a time.
Okay, so if all these possibilities exist, why does life so often feel like such a struggle? Why does it feel like we're always pushing a boulder uphill? And that brings us right to the core problem that transurfing points out, the problem of importance.
So here's the deal. Whenever we assign way too much importance to something, a goal, a fear, a relationship, anything, we create what's called an excessive potential. Just picture it as a little bubble of tension, a disturbance in the otherwise balanced energy of the universe.
And oh man, we do this all the time. That desperate, clawing desire for a promotion, that white-hot anger you feel about some injustice, looking up to someone like they're a perfect god, or even that deep, gnawing fear of failure. All of that stuff injects a massive dose of importance into the system, and that's what creates these energy imbalances. Well, the universe, nature, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't like these pockets of tension. It wants balance. So, to get things back to normal, it creates what are called balancing forces. And here's the kicker. These forces are aimed right back at you, the person who created the potential in the first place. Their job isn't to help you succeed. It's just to flatten out that energy disturbance you made.
And this is why life feels so backward sometimes. It's why the harder you push for something, the further away it seems to get. And it's why your worst fears often have that spooky way of coming true. You're pouring so much energy into them. You're practically inviting the balancing forces to come and make it a reality just to get rid of the tension.
Now, it's not just our own personal energy we have to worry about. There's another huge player in this game, pendulums. You can think of these as the unseen influences that keep us stuck in these frustrating loops, sometimes without us even realizing it.
So what is a pendulum? Well, it's basically a collective thought form. Anytime a group of people start thinking and feeling in the same direction, think about a political movement, a fanatical sports team, a viral news story. They create this independent energy structure. And this pendulum, it has only one goal, to suck up more emotional energy to survive and get bigger.
And the way they hook you is so sneaky. First, something happens out in the world that gets a big emotional reaction out of you. Then, as you react with your anger, your fear, your excitement, you're literally feeding the pendulum. It starts to sway, and it subtly influences you and everyone else to ramp up that emotion. And before you know it, you've lost your freedom. You're not acting for yourself anymore. You're acting for the pendulum.
There's a quote from the book that just nails it. They pull people with invisible strings, and people obey like puppets. I mean, it's exactly what it feels like, right? When you're in the grip of a pendulum, you're just not in the driver's seat. You're on autopilot, reacting, with your strings being pulled by this collective energy that could not care less about you. It just wants to feed.
Okay, wow. So it sounds like we're up against some pretty big forces, right? But here's the thing. This isn't about fighting. It's about learning to surf. So let's get to the solution. How do we actually apply these ideas and start moving with the flow of reality instead of constantly fighting against it?
The core principles are actually beautiful in their simplicity, even if they're not always easy to practice. The big one, the absolute cornerstone, is to reduce importance. You have to consciously let go of that desperate need for things to go a certain way. And instead of trying to force an outcome,
You listen for this feeling of inner comfort. The book calls it the rustle of the morning stars. It's that gut feeling that guides you down the path of least resistance, the stream of variations.
This right here really shows the huge mindset shift we're talking about. The old way, the default way, is control. We try to force things, we struggle against what's happening, we create all this excessive potential, and we fight with pendulums. The transurfing approach? It's observation. You just allow events to unfold, you follow the path that feels easy and natural, you stay balanced and neutral. And when you see a pendulum trying to hook you with all its drama, you just see it for what it is, and you choose not to play. You starve it of your energy.
And this is so important. You have to learn to tell the difference between what your mind is saying and what your soul is feeling. Your mind is an amazing tool, sure, but it's working with logic, with past fears, with what it already knows. Your soul, on the other hand, it's like it has a direct connection to that space of variations. It just knows. That quiet, subtle feeling of, yeah, this feels right, or nope, something's off here. That's your most reliable compass, period. And it all comes down to this simple idea. We make things so much harder than they need to be. We're conditioned to believe that life has to be this epic struggle to be meaningful. Transurfing just invites you to consider, what if it doesn't? What if you just give in to the simplicity? Okay, let's put it all together now. When you finally stop fighting with the mirror and you start working with it, what happens? What's the end game here? Well, it's nothing less than becoming the conscious creator of your own reality.
This is how it actually works. Your inner world, your thoughts, your attitude, how you feel, that's like a slide you put into a projector. And the space of variations, that's the infinite blank screen. By consciously, intentionally choosing the slides you're projecting and doing it without all that distorting noise of excessive importance, you literally light up a matching scenario on the screen and it materializes into your physical life.
And in the end, this is the ultimate promise of reality transurfing. Real freedom isn't about getting more control over the world. It's the opposite. It's about letting go of the desperate need for control. Because the moment you let go of importance, you stop creating those balancing forces that are always pushing back against you. And that's when you are finally, truly free to choose your destiny.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. If reality really is a mirror, just reflecting your inner state back at you, then the question isn't, how do I change the world out there? The real question is, what image are you going to choose to show it?